Oh, alrighty. Alrighty. uh, Forgive me, fools. I just had to laugh. I just had to laugh. Anyways, something used to be said. I'm the king of the world, okay? The king of the world. King of the world. Alright, let me see the chat. What people guys in the chat? Pick the worst times to stream. Listen, right now I'm unemployed. I'll stream whatever I want, bitch. Wahaha. I've gone skin. I have not heard about it, no. That's actually kind of crazy. Joined a neat Empire Coven. I'll find something soon. I'm not gonna be too worried about that. Yeah, that to me is actually wild. I honestly think at this point they're probably going to be taking a more like a Michigan militia style incarnation where instead of it being this actual like force or whatever, it's literally just gonna be just like a bunch of rogue actors who are like vaguely connected, if that, honestly, by anti-establishment conspiracy theories, right? Yeah, that's kind of wild, actually. Like, sorry, I was on my phone. The H-1B thing. Well, the thing is, they can hate it as much as they want, but it doesn't really matter when, like, yeah, it just doesn't really matter, you know, if, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it doesn't really matter. I fucking forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the H-1B thing. Yeah, it doesn't really matter that a lot of Trumpers are like against it. Um, but they're not gonna like go out of their way to like go after their dear leader, if that makes sense. I mean, Trump literally has a cult behind him. Like, I don't think you guys seem to understand that the Trump cult is pretty fucking significant, right? Ugh, fuck, I don't want to hear the fucking echo on. All right. I really don't want to hear the echo on my mic. Is there like a way to turn this off? Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, you guys can. Okay, good. All right. Unless the MAGA base stops using Twitter and do something about it. Well, they're gonna just forget about it because Trump is just gonna be like, you know, we need the visas, we need the H-1 visas, okay? The H-1 visas Allow us to work, okay? We need the visas. He's just gonna do that and basically kind of like gaslight his audience into accepting it. And they're just gonna move on to like the next talking point. Next talking point. I mean, Elon Musk is the true president, okay? Like, you guys need to know that. Elon Musk is literally the true president. He'll shut down the Department of Education. Can you guys not hear my fucking stream? Can you guys not hear my fucking stream? Oh, you can? Okay. A lot of teachers will be out of job. Yeah. Also, I need to change the title of this fucking stream. Yeah, I don't know what else I can really say. Like, the next few years are probably just not going to be good. New Year's stream? I'm eating a biscuit. A cookie biscuit. I was in the mood for some cookie biscuits, but I'm finished with them. I need to start losing weight again. I'm going to be starting tomorrow. No bullshit. Not even that fat. I just need to become back in shape. I was like 168. honestly, I've still been exercising. I just haven't been watching my diet. Ugh. Won't be as shit under Biden, but again, a second Trump term isn't exactly exciting news either. Biden is a fucking mass murdering genocidaire. But in terms of actual policies, his policies are more competent to like run the country, right? Trump is going to be just as or not even just as, Trump is going to be fucking asinine with how he runs the country. Will he be as much of a mass murdering genocidaire that Biden is? I don't know. I really don't know. A small part of me thinks that even Trump kind of sees how bad this genocide looks, and he wants to like try to stop it, but I also doubt that because Trump is a fucking dipshit. Jimmy Carter has died recently. Yeah, he did die. Yeah, I heard about that. All right. What are your thoughts on Carter? His presidency sucked, but he was one of the only presidents I feel was somewhat of a decent human being outside of office. Uh I don't think Carter's presidency was bad per se. I just think he came at a bad time more than anything. There was an article where Biden said he regretted dropping out and would have won the election. Yeah, I've heard about that. But yeah, I don't think Jimmy Carter was like a bad president per se. I just think that he came at a time when the country needed to move past Reaganism in order to act, or not Reaganism, needed to move past like the classic FDR style model that has just decayed significantly by that point, right? And I don't think Carter's reforms were necessarily like terrible. It's just again just age, you know. Let's see here. Let me read the chat. Running hostage situations from 1980 to 1982. Have you ever used Linux as your PC's operating system? On my PCs, no, but I have seen like Linux before on other computers. This was like years ago though. Yeah, Linux is just not that useful. Scratch that. It's very useful. But for obviously for it's a cliched way of saying it, but for most everyday applications, it just isn't as like needed as Windows. There are some stuff you could definitely do with Linux though. I just never got into it. There are actually some um there are actually some engineering companies that do use Linux a lot. Mainly for like embedded devices. Um, and embedded systems, but that's just an aspect of electrical engineering I just haven't had the opportunity to work as much on. Um, yeah. Linux is busing, not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame. Look, I don't even blame you using Linux, especially since fucking Windows just seems to be getting worse and worse by every fucking update. Carter's environmental policies wasn't terrible, but just the fact that the 70s was a shit time period for the U.S. political wise and as soft personalities what got us the Reagan era of today. Pretty much, yeah. The thing is, the Reaganite era was not a bad idea, right? Because by the late 1970s, the old school FDR managerial style capitalism approach really did lost all of its steam. And it just became like a decayed model to try to run society with. Yeah. And there was the stagflation crisis in the 1970s, where inflation was super high, but unemployment was also super high, which was just ridiculous. There was the Watergate scandal. What else happened in 1970s that was humiliating? It's been a fucking while since I looked at it. A complete distrust in government as a result. Corruption in many of the American institutions. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, the 1970s oil crisis too was another big thing. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that. What else happened in the late 1970s? There's the oil crisis, the stagflation crisis, the Watergate crisis. Watergate was like late 70s, right? Or no, wait, was it like 70s? When was Watergate? It wasn't 70s. It was like 1972. Okay, so it was 70s, just not late 70s. Yeah, there was the Watergate scandal, the rise of crime, stagflation, what else was a fucking humiliating thing in this era? The oil crisis. Yeah. Yeah, there was just like a lot of stuff that happened in America, geopolitics wise and internal politics wise, that was just humiliating. Um, oh yeah, there was also the Soviet Afghanistan invasion, right? That was 1979. Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Yeah, it was 1979. Yep. Yeah, that was another humiliating thing for the United States, even though it was honestly more humiliating for the Soviets, but it was just like a very big mess either way, you know? Um but yeah, now we're living in the era though where like we're basically in the exact same era or exact same like phase as the first era was, where the Reaganite era is completely run out of steam. Honestly, in some ways, I think it's worse. Like, I think the Reaganite era, like the phase that we are in right now, is worse than like the phase that the FDR era was. You know, what was the era before FDR? Imperialist imperialist hyper capitalistic society that wanted to have not necessarily colonialism but an attempt at empire building, right? um it's very I'll be honest, I don't think they're really is like a era per se before FDR, because there were many guys who had very, very different philosophies and shit that kind of like took over the American government. But it really was just a hyper capitalistic uh wanting to do American style imperialism, I think would probably be a name for that era. But there was also like different who I say would the president that I would say started that era though is very broad, I think. Actually, all the presidents in order, because I really gotta look at this actually just to answer that question. So the one, I mean, honestly, it could be argued that it probably was the McKinley era, if I would have to choose a president. But I don't think it was one president who kind of had his own era. I just think it was a bunch of presidents who had a very, very clear ideology in mind, which is like hyper capitalism, hyper industrialism, and minor empire building, and they just went for it, right, just to make some money. Um, yeah, I don't think there was a president who was like necessarily the first one to do that, though. Maybe James Garfield, but even that's kind of like pushing it. I think we're in the zombie phase of the Reaganite era. No, no, no. We've been in the zombie phase since 2008. 2008 was a complete catastrophe. But honestly, even before then, there was the war in Iraq. Um, there was the war in Afghanistan. Bush's reign was a complete joke. Like, this was the fucking, I would argue like 2001 really was like when the decline started. And 2008 was when it became fucking obvious. Um and honestly, 2016 with Trump is even more evidence of it, because the fact that a clownish uh reality caricature of a rich man is like president is genuinely just absurd in a way, you know. Also, hey Fartinator, I hope you're doing good. I always get so happy when Fartinator gets in my chat. uh Clinton was being a fucking cheater. 9/11, Bush starting wars, and the Great Recession were the four stepping stones in the Reagan era dying. Um, Less so with the Clinton thing, but yeah, I think it was mainly Bush, honestly. The only reason why I say that is because Clinton also was very competent in terms of like the Reagan era. And his reign economically was really good. I don't think the cheating thing really hurt him that much at the time. It's more like an in retrospect thing that people shit on him for, you know? Fartinator's second form is Poopinator. Uh, but yeah, I think that's what I would describe the era before FDR. Imperialist hypercapitalism, uh, based on the idea that we should, um, that we need to assert, that America needs to assert itself as a great power amongst the world and do nothing but just enrich a few giant. There wasn't really billionaires at the time, but few giant millionaires and like robber barons and captains of industry, right? It's for this reason why the FDR era became a thing. The Great Depression happened. Actually, you could probably say that was its own era. You know, the Great Depression happened, 2 world wars, one of them being literally a world war with fucking Nazi Germany. Yeah, those things just kind of showcase that era of like imperialism, empire building, hyper capitalism has failed significantly, and there just had to be a change. Yeah, you could say yeah, there was an era before FDR. Problem is, I don't know which president I would like attribute it to. Probably Garfield or Arthur. Maybe Arthur, I would say. Let me look up his fucking reign again. Chester A. Arthur. It's been a while. He's a Republican lawyer. After assuming the presidency after Garfield's assassination, Arthur's presidency saw the largest expansion of the U.S. Navy, the end of the spoil system. Yeah. And the implementation of harsh restrictions for migrants traveling from abroad. Okay, yeah, it probably was Arthur. Either Arthur or Garfield. I would have to look at that era of human history more, to be honest. The thing is, I don't know if I would say it'd be Garfield, because Garfield was also like still kind of a part of the Reconstruction era of American history, more so than the imperialist hyper capitalist era, you know. What if Trump does the same thing this term as the last and another pandemic happens? I would really doubt another pandemic would happen, but yeah. Or Grant. Some people say Trump will be America's Nero. I don't know much about Roman history to even see if that's like a valid comparison. Uh, nah, nah. Ulysses S. Grant could also be a factor. The Ulysses S. Grant wasn't really a part of the imperialist era. He was a part of the clear, Reconstruction, try to get out of the Civil War phase. Have some minor industrialization to modernize the U.S. economy more and move away from like uh, and try to basically enact a shitload of railroads and that kind of stuff, you know? Yeah, those presidents like after Grant kind of like really took the whole industrialization aspect and just made it into like a hyper capitalist society, if anything. Um, yeah, which led to the FDR era, and the failures of the FDR era then led to the uh, to the Reagan era. Uh, but yeah, the Reaganite era has completely lost steam. Um, it makes me wonder, and a small part of me genuinely wonders, will Trump be the guy who makes this new defined era or something? Probably not, though. mainly because Trump is just massively incompetent. But again, it also kind of depends on what the voter base wants too. Because if most Americans actually do want this whole Trump bullshit, then that might just straight up be like an era defining thing, you know? And we're already kind of seeing some, elements of it, you know? Like when Kamala Harris talked about like how the wall on CNN, when she talked about how like the border wall was, it was actually kind of a based idea. Like when she basically just said that, it makes me wonder. I look at stuff like that and I wonder, did Trump kind of define his own era now? Because why the fuck are the Democrats like? Why have they become just as hawkish on the border as the Republicans? Like it's very bizarre. But I mean, who knows? I could be completely wrong on that. We'll see. I just joined, so I want to know what the Reagan era did for a modern world. The Reaganite era was an era that basically completely shat on the FDR managerial style capitalism political model that ruled the American political system for like 40, 50 years. Around 40 to 45 years before Ronald Reagan. Um, and Ronald Reagan's era basically took all of those systems, right, that was established in the FDR era and was like, we need to allow big business to flourish, to save us from government corruption. We need to destroy some of these monopolies that have been some of these giant monopolies that have been created in this era. We need to have a expanded, globalized, neoliberal marketplace, right? And it was good. It was genuinely good in the 80s and 90s, Like, God, like the economic prosperity that came not just to America but to most of the world during this time, a genuinely more peaceful time, America taking a legitimate, valid stance against the Soviet Afghanistan invasion, the fall of the Soviet Union, being able to it was just a good time to live in if you were living during this time. Even, I mean, honestly, all you have to do is just look at even some of like the culture that was produced during this time too. Like, you had many of the classic 80s movies. You had innovations in stuff like video gaming. A lot of classic video games came out during this time. Which is a birth of a multi-billion-dollar industry. You had the creation of a whole bunch of like really, really powerful brands that kind of ruled American life during this time. Yeah, it was just a good time to live in. It really did bring America back from that period of complete decline in the 70s. A technology boom, globalization was massive. Just a lot of good stuff genuinely happened during this time. Then Bush sucked farts. Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
all you have to do to see the Reagan era is just look at the fact that, like, the presidents after Reagan didn't really do much to deter away from that era that was established, you know? Bill Clinton, a lot of Republicans think he's like this far left goon or whatever, but Bill Clinton was like a huge Reaganite. Like the guy's legacy was literally like the era of, like, there was even a famous speech he said, the era of big government is over and we gotta work on making these overly privatized industries so that America can flourish. There was the idea of welfare reform came under Bill Clinton's reign, which was that which was to cut welfare significantly and make it to where more people are working in their jobs, basically. Financial deregulation, with the most infamous one being the repeal of Glass-Steagall. God, what else did Bill Clinton do? But yeah, Bill Clinton was definitely a very massive Reaganite. What about the FDR era? The FDR era had some good things too. The creation of the interstate highway system, the creation of many of the modern institutions that we still use now, such as Social Security, Medicare. I'm pretty sure wasn't the postal service also like really advanced during this time? Postal Service Wiki. I'm gonna look this up. Yeah, 1971. Yeah, it was formed in 1971. OSHA, you know, the Environmental Protection Agency. Even when it comes to foreign policy, decolonization in the 1950s, being a genuine opposing force to the Soviet system. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff that happened with the FDR era too, but both of these systems just kind of collapsed, and I don't really know what America will do in the future. It's very concerning. It really does kind of look like it's the Trump era, which is very concerning, but hope you're having a good 2025 so far. I'm not going to stay in here long because I got to get up for work at 6:30 in the morning tomorrow. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. Yeah, I'm actually unemployed at the moment, so I'm gonna have to search for jobs again. But yeah. Didn't Bill Clinton allow the internet to be used by the public? Yeah, the internet itself was a the internet itself was also like a huge thing that popped up during the Reagan era. Too, so sorry to hear about the unemployment. It's fine. I didn't yeah. It happens. You know, stuff like that happens. Can America have a socialist president one day? Nah. The time for socialism has completely passed. The most you're probably gonna get is like a Bernie Sanders like figure, maybe, but I'll be honest. I don't think a Bernie Sanders style era will ever happen. That would require a massive change in the population of America. philosophy-wise, and that's probably not going to happen for like another 20 years at least. The Democrats will try to rig them. Well, to be honest, I don't think Bernie Sanders was going to win. I don't think he was going to win in 2016 or 2020. No. A lot of like far left Bernie guys really think that like Bernie Sanders was going to beat Trump both times. I don't think so. Nah. I remember an argument that I've heard from people is that Bernie Sanders would somehow be able to like convince the Trump people to vote for him instead. And it's like, have you seen the Trump people? Like, those guys literally have a cult of personality, behind Donald Trump. It just wasn't happening. In 2016, maybe? Nah, probably not, no. The thing is, Hillary Clinton, like, she could have beaten Trump in 2016, right? I think if she just had, like, a less arrogant campaign and went into the swing states more, she probably would have won 2016 barely, right? But Bernie Sanders, I mean, I don't know. I just doubt that in 2016 he would have been able to beat Donald Trump. Mainly because he would have just been viewed as more radical. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe 2020. I can see Bernie Sanders beating Trump in 2020 though. I can see that. That I can see. To be honest, I think any Democrats could have beat Trump in 2020, mainly because Trump's COVID policy was so fucking trash and abysmal and psychotic that I feel like literally the American people were like, just anybody but this guy, at least for this pandemic, anybody but him. And so they went with Biden, Yeah, I think Bernie Sanders could have beat Trump in 2020. I think he could have. I'm okay with saying that. 2016 probably not though. I'm just being honest. Bloomberg would have been the closest. I think Bloomberg, if it came down to Bloomberg versus Trump, I think he probably would have been able to beat Trump too. But yeah, like you said, it would have been like such like a victory by pulling teeth, like by the slimmest of margins. Like it wouldn't have been convincing at all. Keep in mind, Biden wasn't really that convincing of a victory either in 2020. He was just able to eke out margins in crucial swing states to just push him over the edge, but it wasn't like a significant victory. And then when you actually look at the fact that his presidency had exactly 50 Democratic senators and any one of them losing their respective elections, any one of them that lost their respective elections would have meant that Biden would have had a completely broken presidency. Right? Yeah. But yeah, I think any Democrat in 2020 was probably gonna beat Trump. The one that wouldn't, if I had to choose, would have been Bloomberg. Mainly because Bloomberg was just so fucking awful. Yeah. and you know what's really funny? Elizabeth Warren said this best when she completely fucking trashed him in that debate and ruined his political career completely. She literally said, like, Democrats would... She said something along the lines of, like, Democrats would lose hard if we substituted one arrogant billionaire with another. And I disagree with what she's saying in one way and one way only. And this might be a hot take, but I think in terms of like arrogant billionaire, contempt, like the contempt for the arrogant, corrupt billionaire, I think Trump honestly beats Bloomberg in that regard. Does that make sense? Like what I mean is, I think that if I were to look at both Bloomberg and Trump and look at them as both of them are corrupt billionaires, but who fits that label more? I feel like Bloomberg honestly fits that label more than Trump does. Does that make sense? Like there's just something about him that just feels so contemptible. Especially with like the whole fact that he had those controversies with how he apparently had a bunch of women that worked under him getting sexually harassed, and he like forced them to sign NDAs and shit. Like, don't get me wrong, Trump is a complete sex pest too, but it's just, I don't know, with Trump, there's like a level of cartoonishness that makes it in a little bit like charming, if that makes sense. I don't know if charming is like the good word for it, or the right word for it, but I don't know, am I just spouting shit, or do you guys see what I'm trying to say, Like, please tell me I'm not just spouting shit, because, I don't know, I look at both Trump and Bloomberg, and a part of me genuinely thinks that, like, in terms of, like, the smug billionaire elitist, that kind of thing, Bloomberg feels more like that, You always spout shit. Charming after he literally went to court for assault, LOL. Bro, I really hope you're probably just joking, but you obviously know what I'm trying to say. Don't fucking misrepresent what I'm saying in the chat, please. Thank you. Also, I think Sonic is okay. What the Fartinator, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh yeah, Mario would have won. The Mario Party. Yeah, you're mostly talking about his demeanor, I guess. It isn't even necessarily just his demeanor. It's just, like, I don't know. It's just, he just says and does shit that is so cartoonish that it makes you not forget, but it makes you, like, I guess forget is the word for it, I don't know, but it makes you genuinely not, remember, that stuff as much as Bloomberg, if that makes sense. I don't know what the proper way of phrasing it would be, but it's Bloomberg feels more smug and unlikable, I'll say that much, but Trump is more aggressively predatory, creepy, whereas Bloomberg is smarmy, creepy. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way of putting it. The aggression and wit is a way better smokescreen. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Well, Trump does goofy shit all the time, so it's not like anything he does now is unexpected. Yeah. Let me put it to you like this. There was recently at one of the more recent UFC events, mixed martial arts, Trump was literally in attendance, watching that match, watching those matches, right? That alone, I think, is just enough for people to just not give a shit about all the evil stuff that Trump has done. Because I could just never imagine a Bloomberg doing it, or even like a Biden doing that, yeah. Or Trump with Aiden Ross. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Who the fuck is Aiden Ross? Like, maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm just a boomer. I'll take that. I don't care. I'll take the L on that. I'm a fucking boomer. Whatever. Genuinely speaking, who is he, though? Like, I keep hearing that name, and I heard that Trump had a podcast with Aiden Ross during the election, and my response wasn't, it literally wasn't like, oh, wow, Trump has a podcast with Aiden Ross. That's crazy. My reaction was literally, who the fuck is Aiden Ross and why should I care? You know? You know what, Kevin? How about you form your own party? Form a party with you and all the 40 plus MILFs that your heart desires and run for office? Bro, what the fuck is... Why the fuck are there people in my chats constantly talking about MILF, cougar, all that shit? Listen, we are not going to be dehumanizing women, okay, with sexual, fucking porn terms in my chat ever again, okay? And I'm being serious when I say that. I'm being fucking serious, okay? This is not a chat where we're going to be going around using terms like whore, slut, all that shit, or terms like MILF, cougar, or all that nonsense, okay? This is a chat where I'm trying to... This is a porn-free chat, okay? Get all that shit off of my chat. So we can't have fun. Yes, you can't have fun. This chat is a monarchy, okay? And Fartinator is my fucking court jester. You are a peasant. Remember your place, okay? Rourke is a serf. Rourke is the only one that isn't a court jester and isn't a peasant. He's just a serf. Or they're just a serf. Shut up, Kevin. We all want to know you. We all know you want to bang 40-year-old women. Fartinator, put this guy in my timeout. In the timeout box. Jameson boy, I warned you. I warned you. I warned you. Put him on timeout for like a minute, not too long. Fartinator, put him in timeout for like 60 seconds. Please tell me you didn't do 5 minutes. I don't want 5 minutes that bullshit again. I just want 1 minute, okay? Alright, let me read the rest of the chat. Daddy, what's a MILF? You know what, Fartinator? I'll allow that because you're funny. It became 2 minutes. You know what? Whatever. Jameson boy, you could come back in 2 minutes. Not the end of the world. The Ree Party versus the Mario Party. The battle to turn this country into a one-party state. And this all started because of a TCAP episode. W feminist icon Kevin. Bro, I'm not even a fucking feminist, right? Like, at least in, like... Yeah, I'm not. I just don't like the idea of, like, using really disgusting, crass words to describe women, right? Like, it's just so, like, I don't think there's anything less manly than that, you know? Kevin, please show that video to chat. This live stream needs to understand this guy got thanked at the victory speech. Wait, what? What video? Oh, I see it now. I see it.
What does a
Oh, this is Aiden Ross? Okay, well, let's check him out, I guess.
fastest lead?
It means you are a far right authorization on ultranationalist. Oh my God, ultra analyst, political ideology movement characterized by dictator leadership, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So I don't know what that means, bro. I swear to God, I don't know what the fuck a fascism is. I don't know what the fuck that is. Benito Mussolini and Giviante Gentile and Jason Stanley. Like, who the fuck are these people, bro? Never heard of my fucking life. What is an example of a fascist? Yo!
Bro, this guy, this was the guy who interviewed Trump. Are you serious? What the fuck? Dude. Okay, I'm not going to, like, clown him for mispronouncing words, but... He danced with Trump? Oh, oh, dude, this country is so screwed, bro. This is he danced with me. He danced with me on the dance floor, okay? Aiden Ross, he's a true American, a true patriot, okay? He is the true winner of the election, okay? But the crooked Joe Biden and all the Democrats cannot touch this, okay? Mamma mia, Mario. No misogyny in my chat. No misogyny in my spaghetti. Mussolini, bro. I will have my revenge. Your kingdom will fail. Yeah, sorry, Jameson boy. I didn't want it to be 2 minutes. I want it to just be 1 minute, okay? Give me a break. Kevin as a monarch. Are you right? For right authorization. Hey, listen, monarchies are based, though. Especially when it's an absolute monarchy done by a genius like me. I mean, come on, let's be real here, right? Was it a sexy tango? What the fuck? He's so stupid he let Sneeko groom him into thinking actually thinking Hitler was good. And Aiden is literally Jewish. Wait, what? Wait, this guy got fucking manipulated by Sneeko of all people? Like, what? Bro, that's sad, bro. Bro, if Sneeko beats you in a debate, like, that genuinely has to be sad. Like, I genuinely don't understand how someone as, like, cartoonish as Sneeko would be able to win a debate against someone. But, you know... Imagine if a streamer was the cause of the invasion of Mexico. Is Aiden Ross like this massive streamer or something? Like, why do people say that this guy, like, I'll be honest, before Trump, I literally never heard of the guy. I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely had no idea who he was. You know what I think did help Trump win the election significantly? I think Trump's, podcast with Joe Rogan honestly gave him votes. Like, there's no way it didn't. I think Joe Rogan actually did help Trump win the election. A lot of people don't seem to realize how popular Joe Rogan is. Yeah, Kamala not giving a Joe Rogan interview was just asinine. Aiden Ross is an Israeli. Sleep with one eye open tonight. Okay, I won't clown for the bad pronunciation except Mussolini. How the fuck do you not know him at 21 years old? Again, the pronunciation is one thing, but it's clear that the guy just doesn't know what any of those terms mean, and he has, like, no idea on how to describe any of them because of how uneducated he is about history, right? Like, if you were to ask me what is nationalism or what is fascism, I could give a genuinely good definition of those things in a couple sentences. Now, granted, they're obviously a lot more complicated than that, but I'm well educated enough to where I can describe to people what these terms and what these political concepts are, right? But when you're someone like Aiden Ross, who... the guy's a fucking Twitch streamer, right? So that's all I need to know about him. Then, you know, you fucking know nothing, right? And you guys said he was from Israel? Like, yeah, that's another fucking thing. Like, they're bad at history, right? I'll be honest though. I feel like an Israeli would at least know who fucking Mussolini was. The fuck? Like, that's crazy. Kev, which American party do you lean towards, or do you prefer not to say it out of personal reasons? No. I literally voted for Kamala Harris the last election, but it wasn't because I wanted to. It's mainly because the Republican Party in this country is fucking asinine, a complete joke that is definitely begging for a rebirth of some kind. But it's not like I support the Democrats either. Like, the Democratic Party literally supported a fucking genocide in Palestine, right? In fact, I was very, 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 very fucking close to not voting in this election, but the only reason why I voted for Kamala Harris was because I said to myself that I think Palestine is screwed either way, but I genuinely think Trump is probably going to be more unhinged regarding not just Palestine, but the whole world as a whole. So I bit the bullet and I still voted for Kamala. Yeah. It took me so much fucking, like, everything in my body to, you know, to just accept the fact that I don't want to see Trump in power because he's just going to be more unhinged than Biden. And I just went and voted for Kamala Harris, right? Because I still, to this day, I'm always a believer in the idea of, you know, you always want the less of the two evils, okay? But, dude, I'll be honest, that was painful. I never felt that way when I gave my vote to Biden in 2020. I never did. I didn't really like the Democrats, and I thought they were a corrupt party, but at that point, they never, like, blatantly committed a genocide to the degree that we're seeing in Palestine right now. Bro, even Trump, like, even fucking Trump never had a genocide under his watch that he, like, publicly supported. For, like, it's insane. %, even in fucking Yemen, he never made it something he was proud of. Well, the thing about Yemen, and I'll be honest, I did describe the whole Yemen war as a genocide when I was younger. But I personally probably today, I probably wouldn't describe it as a genocide, mainly because it was not about genocide. I think requires intent, right? It's not, the war wasn't, it never happened just so just so the people in Yemen could all get exterminated or whatever. It was literally just because of imperialist geopolitical bullshit, right? Now, were they barbaric in their war, right? Was the war barbaric? Yes, absolutely. I'm not denying that. But it wasn't about wanting to kill the Yemenis. It was just about wanting to stop a militia movement from overtaking the country, right? Yeah, this whole thing in Palestine, though, it's clear, like, it's just Israel wants to destroy all the Palestinians, you know? But yeah, but even Trump, like, he never went out of his way to support the Yemen, or not the Yemenis. He never went out of his way to support that war. That was like something that was kind of like, he was mostly kind of manipulated in a way because he's just a fucking idiot. But there were literally points within the war where even he had like at least some standards and was like, hey, we probably not the best idea. Or I think that was mainly under Biden, though, to be honest. My timeline is all fucked up, to be honest. But Biden is an ideological Zionist. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's like the big difference, I think. Though, we're probably going to see Trump just take that fucking handle in as well. And just continue Biden's policy, but be even more unhinged regarding it. But a small part of me genuinely wonders, will Trump actually just try to get a ceasefire? Because I don't know. A small part of me wonders that if Trump genuinely kind of sees how insane this shit is, and he could like, because let's be real here, the guy's a fucking narcissist, right? I feel as if he just kind of sees how crazy this whole shit is, he could literally play this, I'm this great peacemaker, you know, and I brought peace to the Middle East, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, we'll probably get an answer after, like, the first month, to be honest. So, like, in January, he's going to become president in the 20th, I believe, of this month. We are probably going to be getting an answer at around, like, February 20th, basically. I'm giving him 1 month. If he doesn't do anything to change and stop that war, even if it's like some vague fucking posturing, well, Biden did some vague posturing. If he doesn't do anything to actually stop the war with like a legitimate phone call, then yeah, I mean, it's safe to say that he's also gonna be a mass murdering genocide there. Which, congratulations, congratulations to Biden, because if that happens, then it's not just him, you know, at least Trump followed in your fucking path, you dipshit. But, you know, what you gonna do? But who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong on that. A ceasefire happens in the first month. And if that happens, you know what? Trump actually... I will say this right now. If Trump actually does bring a ceasefire to Palestine and stops this genocide, okay? If he does that, Trump has legitimately gained a moral victory. And it's not even debatable. Like, that alone would have been a moral victory. The chances of it happening is very low. I agree. That's why I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, then yeah, Trump legitimately got a moral victory. And honestly, I'll be completely honest with y'all. If that happens, okay, let's assume that it might happen, okay? If it happened, okay, even though I don't think it will, but if it actually happened, you know what I would also say? I would legitimately say, you know what? Voting for Kamala was a mistake. I should have voted for Trump. Unironically, I'll come out and make a video saying that. Too. But obviously, assuming that ever happens, which it probably won't, that's not my fault. I can't see the fucking future. So yeah. I can only go by what Trump says in his words. So yeah. By the way, Biden objectively failed what he said he ran for president for. He said he ran for the soil of America, and look what happened. We had a better chance with Biden, and it never happened. The chances of wrestling otaku stopping his excessive gooning are higher than that. Wrestling otaku. You guys really enjoyed my live streams, and I just made fun of that guy. Wrestling otaku, I feel like, is one of those guys where you could probably just make fun of him for like, if you're making like a live stream and you just need something to like make fun of, you could probably just go to his channel and find a video to just shit on, because he's just that much of a fucking yeah. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna waste my time going after like the same fucking subjects over and over. It's just not necessary. Well, women are evil. Well, women are bad. Read. He's a diet white Bowser. I could watch 60 wrestling otaku streams. At least you're able to make fun of wrestling otaku for more than 5 minutes, unlike J Senpai X4. Kevin was running in circles just to find his purpose. Give Trump a Nobel Peace Prize awards if he deports him to a North Korean work camp. Let's rank GTA villains. I put Hatchet Man at the top. Bro, Fartinator versus Hatchet Man will never get old. You know, one video I just remembered that I wanted to do a while ago, but I never got around to doing it because I just don't care about making videos anymore, was that I remember CinemaSins made a video shitting on Hunchback of Notre Dame, and their video was so fucking awful that I legitimately wrote a script for me tearing apart that video like 3-4 years ago, whenever that video came out. But again, it's just I even maybe have recorded the lines for that video, but I just never got around to doing it. Mainly because like CinemaSins is just so fucking boring. Like it's just so hard. I think you did a live stream on it, but I forgot. I don't think I did a live stream on it, though. I mean, we could respond to it now, because I don't mind doing, like, a live stream response, because these things don't really take that much time. But, yeah, that was, like, 3-4 years ago. It's literally just non-stop nitpicking and missing the point. Yeah. And it's also just making, like, really unfunny jokes, too. You did? I remember. Wait, did I really make a live stream response to, like, the Hunchback of Notre Dame video? Really? I genuinely don't remember. Like, at all. I mean, multiple people in my chat says they remember it, so I'll take your word for it. But that's the thing though, do you guys even remember what I even said in that video? Because I feel like it's been long enough to where I probably could just make fun of it now. I'll let you guys decide. Should I make fun of that video? I don't want to make fun of a video if you guys are not interested in me shitting on it. CinemaSins is just shitty rage bait, though. I mean, that is true. But I like when you shit on things. I appreciate it. The problem is there's just not that much. There's just not that many things on YouTube that I have interest in shitting on, you know? If there's like a wrestling otaku like YouTuber or something that just makes countless you know, countless amounts of like shitty rant videos, I could probably make fun of that, you know, but Kevin is more about cuck Zionists than YouTube clowns now. I love how everyone in my chat is just using the word cuck now as an insult. Dude, cuck is just such a funny word. Like, that to me is just so funny. I mean, let's be real here. Can we just agree that if you are somebody who watches porn, you're probably just a cuck? Because the idea of pornography is literally you watching other people have sex, you know? It's genuinely funny that there's like I hate talking this way because it's so crass, but there's literally like a category for that kind of like porn because it's become a fucking meme on the internet or whatever. But it's like there's a category for it, but it's so fucking like, what is it? It's like trying to put a hat on a hat, you know? It's like you're already watching porn. If you're watching two people having sex for your pleasure, like that literally is just cuckoldry, right? Like I don't like, why do you need like that extra classification? Like seriously though, all joking aside, don't watch porn. Porn is just very not good. It is destructive for your mind. So yeah. It's not your girlfriend, so it's not really cuckoldry, I guess. Right, but like why would you need to watch something like that, you know, to get aroused, you know? Why not because you're watching it in a way like what, like even trying to like break apart the logic of this shit is painful, you know? It's like you're watching it to get aroused somehow, but you're getting aroused by other people having sex, not you. Like, I mean, come on, right? And it completely ignores the fact that sex itself is not supposed to just be about you feeling good. It's supposed to be a bonding, loving experience you have with someone that you care about. You know, like that's quite literally, you know, what sex is, but the porn industry makes a complete mockery of it, you know? Yeah, I don't want to talk about this shit. It's too crass. I don't even know why I brought it up. Oh yeah, because I overused the word cuck as an insult. Bro, you ended your biggest channel by saying I'm the ultimate cuck now. What were you expecting? Did I actually say that? That's funny. That is now that's funny. So you say this but refuse your title as 2025's new feminist icon? Is that really what feminism is? Like, really? Because I'm not. Then again, there was a video made by this guy who, I forgot this guy's YouTube channel, but it's like this Russian guy who literally goes and like cross-dresses as like a woman, you know? And he like does these experiments when he where he goes into like Las Vegas or like New York or whatever to see if he gets like sexually harassed by other men or whatever, right? And me watching those videos, I kind of understand why, even though I don't agree with it, but I kind of understand why there are like a lot of women online who say shit like, "I'd rather be in the woods with like another bear than a man," you know? Um, yeah, like it's. I feel like you need to watch stuff like that and just see the type of stuff that like that happens to like a woman just for existing, uh to understand why they would make statements like that and why statements like that get steam, you know? Because it's like it's very easy as like a man to say to talk about how uh you know, these women are just being bitchy, and these women are being like absurd and they hate all men or whatever, and they have like a very generalistic view of how they see other men or whatever, or other men, how they see men. But then you watch videos like that where it's like a guy, you know, cosplays as a woman basically, or cross dresses as a woman, right? And he's getting sexually harassed constantly, or in some instances, literally sexually assaulted, by like, you know, other men. That it makes you think, okay, maybe they kind of, maybe there's a reason why they're saying that, you know. It's funny because if you as a man ever say what I'm saying right now, you probably would be called like a feminist soy boy SJW just for saying that, you know? But I'm not arguing it from a feminist perspective. I'm just arguing from a, you know, a lot of men are way too fucking like sexually what's the word? Perverse, you know. It's and they just don't seem to realize it, right? Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck, why I was talking about that. Oh yeah, because some guy called me a feminist icon in the chat. I have the receipt. Is 10 seconds in. I don't disbelieve you. I don't not believe you on that, you know. Like I can imagine me saying something like that. I'm the ultimate cuck now. As I delete my channel. Oh, that's funny. God, what was that dude's channel name? It's like a Russian guy cross-dressing, but I forgot his name. Vlad NCL. Yeah, I remember now. The guy literally got sexually assaulted making his videos, bro. That's just insane to me. Do you guys know do you guys know who I'm talking about out of curiosity? Actually, no, we can react a little bit to his video. Where is it? Vlad NCL. This is kind of uncomfortable though. I can't even lie. But so this guy right here, um yeah. This is kind of uncomfortable. I can't lie. So this guy right here, Vlad NCL, he is a guy who, can we not? I don't want to see sexual harassment. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. Well, I'll watch a little bit of it and then I'll immediately shut it off because it genuinely is like super fucking uncomfortable. So this guy right here, Vlad NCL, it's this guy, him right here, right? He is a Russian YouTuber who cross-dresses as a woman, right? And makes all these prank videos, basically, right? Yeah, that's kind of like the gist of his channel, right? There he is, the wig, makeup, even has fucking cleavage. Very, very convincing disguise, I guess. I even hate saying it like that because it's just so crass, but there you go.
I actually feel guilty for saying no to the Instagram. But obviously, not every...
So then he makes these videos where he's like, I investigated New York or Las Vegas or whatever as a woman to see how like other guys would react. And yeah, sometimes it's pretty fucking rough. Yeah, that's forgive me, chat, please. Okay. All right, just so I can open up the chat in a different screen. I completely forgot I'm dual screen now. No more one monitor.
everyone would be so nice.
Sorry? Thank you.
So right now he's already getting like way too fucking close, and he's like, "You're very beautiful," which is like something you just never say to a random woman on the street. Yeah, I don't understand why you would ever. I don't understand why you would ever go up to some random woman on the street and just call her fucking beautiful. Like, come on, dude.
Natalia. Yes. Alright.
Well, now he's saying I like you. You know, it's.
No, thank you. I'm really tired. I'm going home.
Where do you live?
Not very far away from here. Not very far. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Listen.
What?
And look, he's continuing getting closer. He's grabbing her by the hand, or grabbing him by the hand because he's a crossdresser.
I just want to walk and talk.
Yeah, I understand, but I want to go to my hotel.
Your hotel.
Yeah, I want to go to my hotel.
Can I walk?
I like alone.
Why alone?
Sorry?
Why alone?
Because I'm really tired.
Child?
Yes.
And he's pinning the dude against the fucking wall, right? Like, I mean,
No. 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 Can you go, please?
yeah, we're done. We're not watching this. I'm sorry. That's fuck. But seriously though, you watch stuff like this, a lot, and you kind of understand. You know what? Maybe when women say they'd rather be in a forest with a bear than a stranger, like a random man or whatever, they might have a point, you know? It's not really something that bothers me that much when I see videos like this. I don't know if they're a troll. I'm talking about juicy nuggets. The usual suspects as always. Wait, what? What the fuck? Well, yeah, exactly. What does that mean, usual suspects? Bro, are you like making a race thing because the guy is black? Like, what? Yeah, those kinds of people. Hold on, bro. Yeah, like, wait. Wait. What? Like, you're gonna have to clarify that, feels bad, man. Yeah, like, what does that even mean? Because the guy who's sexually assaulting this guy is black? This feels bad, man. Are you a racist? Chill out, bro. I'm black. Okay, but what? Okay, I'm messing around. You've been a fan of mine. I don't think you actually mean anything. What seriously though? What does that mean? So you're Dappy, you hate your own people. Yo, chill! Chill, everyone in the chat. I'm allowed to be racist against my own race? Phil Batman, no! You are not allowed to be racist against my own race. What the fuck? Are you, seriously, are you fucking around? Are you being serious right now? Like, come on, dude. Yes, you're being serious? Okay. Okay, that's okay then. Feels bad, man. You are officially the new Dabby. The new Dabby in my chat, okay? Have you ever heard about True Capitalist Radio or Radio Graffiti? And if so, what are your thoughts on the host Ghost? Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. Yeah, I've never heard of that. No. Also, Hatchet Man. Dude, I'm so happy that Hatchet Man is here. Let's see here. I'm reading the chat. Searched up anime censorship rant. I'm good. Maybe he was referring to New Yorkers. Nah, he was just making a racist joke. Please, you making fun of weebs is amazing. God, dude, I really... Bro, I'm sorry. I feel like if I want to make fun of weebs, though, I need to, like, really be prepared for it, though, because weebs are something else, man. Like, these guys legitimately don't even try to hide how awful they are. That's what makes the takedown more interesting. You guys, you just want to see me torture myself. Just be honest at this point. Like, don't give me some bullshit fucking reason. Just be like, yeah, I just want to see you fucking torture your mind a little bit, man. Can we talk about something normal like GTA or politics? I already talked about politics earlier in the live stream. You were just too late, Hatchet Man. Crack Elmo Padishah. No, I'm... Oh, something got in my throat. I'm not a sadomasochist. Not entirely. Fine. I mean, we can have another rant about cuck Zionists, but the offer is still on the table. Fuck it. Let's look up anime censorship rant. Why the fuck not? Oh, dude, I'm gonna fucking... I hate my fucking soul after this. Called Juicy Nuggets? Okay. What the fuck does this dude guy have to say about anime being evil or whatever? Or anime censorship being evil? Oh, dude, this is gonna be painful. Oh, bro, this guy's description is already fucking painful. What is this? the West is financially censoring Japanese anime, and manga retailers via credit card companies like Visa and MasterCard. Is it justified, or has anime censorship gone too far? I'm gonna torture myself watching this. Oh, all right, chat. Let me know how good the audio balancing is, and please like tell me right immediately. I'm not in the mood to fuck around. I'm gonna let this guy speak, and then I'm gonna say testing 1 2 3. I'm gonna let this guy speak again, and I say testing 1 2 3, and I'll do that 2 times, and you guys let me know, is the audio balancing good? Okay.
Where the anime industry thrives on passion, creativity, and freedom, an unexpected villain has emerged from the shadows. And it's
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
It's not a man with funny hands who hates superheroes or a big monkey who throws rocks at people. It's Visa. That's right. The credit card that many of us use every day is now public and
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right, is it good, chat? It's good. Feels bad, man. I want more than just one person. Come on, tell me. There are 15 people watching. We need to get like at least 5. Fartinator, it's good. Come on, guys. It's good. Good. Okay. Most of y'all are saying it's good. Alright. What the fuck do you have to say about anime censorship?
in a world where the anime industry thrives on passion, creativity, and freedom, an unexpected villain has emerged from the shadows. And it's not a man with funny hands who hates superheroes or a big monkey who throws rocks at people. It's Visa. That's right, the credit card that many of us use every day is now public enemy #1 to Japanese otaku. Why?
Oh my god. Oh dude, this is already like really painful. Oh dude. Oh my heart. Oh dude. Dude. Alright. Let's get through this shit.
Because Visa and other American credit cards like MasterCard suddenly cut off payment services to iconic Japanese stores who bring, among many other things, fictional adult content to the Japanese market. And while
Oh wow, so credit card companies are not wanting to sponsor or financially support, you know, manga creators who make porn, right? Because he said adult content. It's literally talking about porn, right? That's not censorship, okay? It's not censorship. It's just businesses not wanting to do business with fucking pornography. I don't understand why this is like a hard thing for these clowns to understand. This is so painfully unfunny, Kevin. I don't give a fuck, dude. It's my live stream. I'll do whatever I want.
While it's no secret that payment service providers and banks have always used their power to shut down controversial figures, suppress
Alex Jones.
secret that payment service providers and banks have always used their power to shut down controversial figures.
It's not, dude, Alex Jones wasn't just controversial. The guy literally lost a lawsuit where he talked about how victims of like a school shooting, okay, were not victims. What was his words? Like they're crisis actors or some shit. Like that was like more or less what he said, right? I could be misremembering, so I don't remember. But like the dude literally lost a lawsuit regarding that shit.
suppress political unrest.
Suppress political unrest.
Providers and
What?
banks have always used their power to shut down controversial figures, suppress political
Banks are moving to freeze accounts linked to convoy protests. Here's what you need to know. This is like the truck protest that happened in Canada, right?
unrest and screw businesses and consumers out of billions of dollars, according to the US Department of Justice. What's happening in Japan right now is a new chapter in the global battle between freedom and control that sends chills down
Freedom. Freedom to make porn. I can't with this, man. Dude, guys, you need to understand. I actually can't.
the backs of Japanese anime and manga fans. After all, Visa and MasterCard make up 80% of credit card transactions around the world, and that percentage is about the same in Japan, which gives them huge influence over what people can and can't spend their money on. And the way that they're now using that influence in Japan is scary for 3 reasons. The first is, obviously, the massive impact on businesses, customers, and creators. Because when 2 companies control 80% of a country's credit payment infrastructure, they are effectively gatekeepers whose policies can disrupt or destroy businesses overnight. And
Oh, wow. That's so evil. They don't want to deal and support fucking porn. Oh, dude, that's so much. Oh, they're destroying our anime porn. Oh!
that is exactly what happened to Manga Library Z, a website that distributes old or out-of-print manga for free with the permission of original authors and support from advertisers. Manga Library Z is a great way to read manga that are otherwise just about impossible to find. Or at least, it was. Unfortunately, Manga Library Z closed down on November 26, 2024, and here's what they had to say about the closure. As mentioned in the October 29th announcement, we received a notification from our payment processing company last month that forced us to terminate all payment service contracts by the end of October. Despite immediate negotiations with the payment processor, we learned that this decision was based on credit card company policies and could not be overturned. We worked tirelessly to assess our financial options and restructure operations, but we ultimately concluded that continuing the site in a way that could no longer provide fair revenue to creators would betray the trust of both creators and users. This led to the painful decision to suspend the service. We sincerely apologize for this outcome. And just like that, an important player in the preservation of vintage manga is out for the count. But
Wow. That's so evil, you know? A fucking website that no longer has the ability to fund itself as much as it can because of credit card companies making their own decisions. They shut down the website. Yeah, that's some censorship right there. I love how after all the awful anime fans Kevin has come across, he will never ever have an even tiny chance of liking anything that has to do with it, with the exception of Spirited Away. Because Spirited Away was actually like a wholesome movie. You know? It was a wholesome, adorable anime movie that never delved into any of the fucking nonsense that a lot of animes do. Even animes that you watch, like fucking Dragon Ball Z or whatever, they never delved into that fucking nonsense. They just wanted to create a cute little wholesome story, and that's about it. You know? Yeah, like it's just nonsense, you know? Yeah, I mean, but this guy right here, like, this website closing down because they're unable to, like, fund this manga or whatever, like, this isn't censorship. This is just them, some websites shut down and some websites, you know, stay up. Like, that's just how the internet works, right? Fucking, when Blip.tv shut down, like, what was it, like, when the fuck did Blip shut down? Like 2013, I think, 2012? Like, that wasn't censorship. That was just the fact that the website, if I remember correctly, they shut down because a lot of people were using ad block and they weren't making that much revenue on the website. Therefore, they had to shut it down, right? That again, it isn't censorship, bro.
why exactly did certain credit card company policies suddenly target Manga Library Z, despite the fact that the website was already doing business with these companies for nearly 14 years? Surely it's partially due to Manga Library Z hosting a paid service that provided 18+ manga, but that—
Wow, so because the website, they didn't want to associate with a website that made porn. Like, dude, Or in this case, not make porn, but distribute porn. Like, dude, I can't with these people, dude. This isn't censorship. They just don't want to, you know, credit card companies going out of their way to say, we're revising our policies to where we're no longer going to be, like, allowing financial transactions to occur with, like, if porn is there. That isn't censorship. That's just them not wanting to deal with the obvious clear baggage that porn, you know, has. Right? Like, this is...
That service was launched way back in 2011, which instead points the finger at credit card companies changing their policies at some point during 2024. Of course, Visa and MasterCard have both gotten more cautious about their involvement with adult content after the MindGeek fiasco, where they got caught
Wait, what the fuck is MindGeek? Wait, what?
up in a massive court case wherein Visa was accused of enabling trafficking, exploitation, and other crimes.
Wait, what? I never heard of this shit. Visa, MasterCard react to Pornhub ruling. The two card companies took action against an advertising entity tangled up in a California lawsuit against the pornography website. Visa and MasterCard sought to distance themselves yesterday from the website Pornhub after a federal judge refused to let Visa walk away from a trial in which the defendant alleges the site's parent, MindGeek, conspired with the card giant to monopolize CP. Wait, what? Wait, I gotta read that again. My brain is fried. Visa and MasterCard sought to distance themselves yesterday from the website Pornhub after a federal judge refused to let Visa walk away from a trial in which the defendant alleges the site's parent, MindGeek, conspired with the card giant to monetize CP. Huh. Okay, yeah, like, if that's the case, then there's probably a fucking reason why they decided to revise their policies, right? Like, if they're being caught, they're literally being caught in, like, lawsuits regarding fucking CP, for crying out loud. Right? Like, I can definitely understand why a lot of the higher-ups in Visa and MasterCard are probably thinking, yeah, let's, like, not have this baggage associated with us again, like, at all, because it's probably not a good idea for business. They use a turtle to censor CP. How disgusting. That's funny. I use X video. Cute Bunny, I don't know why you come into my chats trying to defend this shit. This is not just a problem with one website or another website. This industry itself is trash, okay? This is a shit industry. It's a corrupt industry. It's an immoral industry. It's not an industry that I'm gonna be tolerating people defending in my fucking chats, okay? The idea that, oh, it's this one website that was doing bad things. No, that's just porn. Like, porn itself is bad, okay? Cut the bullshit. What else are people saying? 90s anime, like Dragon Ball Z, was better than the anime we have seen today. The genre has gone downhill since the 2010s and never recovered. Yeah, I can definitely see that. What does the turtle mean?
However, this time, we're talking about legally produced fiction and artwork made and sold in Japan, not criminally produced videos exploiting real-life people around the world. Obviously,
Is this guy gonna try to defend fucking Lolicon? Because, I don't know, the way he phrased that was just so suspicious. I can't trust any of these anime clowns.
crimes. However, this time, we're talking about legally produced fiction and artwork made and sold in Japan, not criminally produced videos exploiting real-life people around the world. Obviously, some genres of Japan's adult anime and manga content are highly contentious, and even illegal.
Yeah, you already know what he's about to start talking about. Oh, just kill me now.
legal in some parts of the world, but these fictional works,
Yeah, just straight up. He's like,
anime and manga content are highly contentious and even illegal in some parts of the world, but these fictional works are 100% legal under Japanese law. So on
what doesn't fucking matter? They fucking had a. He's obviously talking about Lolicon there. I don't know why he doesn't just come out and say it. Like, just like listen to what he says again.
And
Like,
other
it's
crimes.
not even fucking hidden.
However, this time we're talking about legally produced fiction and artwork made and sold in Japan, not criminally produced videos exploiting real-life people around the world. Obviously, some genres of Japan's adult anime and manga content are highly contentious.
When he says contentious, he obviously means like involves a child, or at the or maybe like rape, of a grown woman or whatever.
And even illegal in some parts of the world, but
Illegal in some parts of the world. Keep in mind, Lolicon is illegal in America. You know, at least by the law books it is. It's never really enforced. But legally, yes, it's illegal in America.
these fictional works are 100% legal under Japanese law. So on one hand,
I can't, dude, these people who try to defend, like, Lolicon or whatever, like, just kill me now. Like, every time I hear this shit, I legitimately, like, it's not even something to laugh at anymore. It's just something that makes me want to literally bash my head through a fucking door, like, 4 fucking times. You know, it's like I'm just so sick and tired of these fucking clowns on the internet popping up like the cockroaches they are, dude.
private businesses have the right to decide who they want to or don't want.
Shut the fuck up! Seriously, you're such a fucking idiot. Credit card companies not wanting to associate with literal animated anime CP? No fucking shit. Especially after they just, in your own admission, they had a lawsuit regarding that shit. What the fuck do you think? Use your fucking head for like 5 minutes, dude. Like,
to do business with, but on the other hand, credit card companies specifically probably need to operate to a different standard. After all, they have so much control over the sale of goods and services that it's effectively indirect censorship if they cut off payment options to lawfully operating businesses and creators.
lawfully operating my ass. First of all, it's illegal. You literally said it's illegal in certain parts of the world. First of all, it's also illegal in America, by the way. You know, where do you think a lot of Visa and MasterCard's businesses and where they do a lot of their transactions, what country do you think they do the most of that in? Do you think it's Japan? No, it's America. This is the fucking American empire we live under, okay? That's number one. Number two, even if it was the Japanese empire, God forbid, but even if it was, guess what? Them not wanting to associate themselves at all and distance themselves from fucking potential anime CP content. This is not a fucking censorship conspiracy theory. That's just common sense. Literally, it's common sense. Especially since you literally said that they had a fucking giant ass lawsuit, you know, with all that baggage surrounding it. Okay, like, fuck off.
And Manga Library Z certainly wasn't the only business blindsided by companies like Visa and MasterCard suddenly turning against them. Take DL Site, which might be Japan's biggest online distributor of adult comics and doujinshi.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking another porn website. Yeah, like, no shit.
2024, like,
I'm so sick, dude. I am so fucking sick and tired of these clowns existing on the internet, dude. Like, it's actually painful hearing these people talk. Like, these people legitimately, I don't want to see them at, like, 50 feet away from any fucking park, playground, school, or whatever. These people are so unhinged. One of them has 1 million subscribers. Fuck off. 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 You're telling me one of these clowns has 1 million subs? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Fuck this shit.
Like so many other Japanese retailers, DL Site was targeted by foreign credit card companies, and they even tried to compromise by replacing various adult comic search terms to less explicit terms. For example, was changed to Secret Touch and
Wait, what?
terms to less explicit terms. For example, was
blank KAN. What the fuck does this mean? What? What does that mean? Wait, can somebody in the chat tell me what this means? Is it misspelled? Like what the fuck does this mean? Chicken? Like that's my guess. Like what? Chicken? It's supposed to be chicken? Wait, what? What does this mean? What does this mean? I don't know what this means. He's talking about how this was like supposed to be an explicit word of some kind.
By replacing various adult comic search terms to less explicit terms. For example, was
okay, so this is like an explicit term. Right? It means groping. I looked it up. It literally means sexual assault. What the fuck, bro? These people are so unhinged, dog. It means sexual harassment.
business blindsided by companies like Visa and MasterCard suddenly turning against them. Take DL Site, which might be Japan's biggest online distributor of adult comics and doujinshi. In 2024, like so many
What the fuck is doujinshi? I don't even know what that is. And I don't even want to know.
other Japanese retailers, DL Site was targeted by foreign credit card companies, and they even tried to compromise by replacing various adult comic search terms to less explicit terms. For example, was changed to Secret Touch Touch.
Secret Touch. It just... Oh, dude, these people are actually in asinine, dog.
And
bestiality. Yeah, Yeah. Credit card companies, yeah, they clearly want to be associated with bestiality of all things.
was changed to Animal Friends.
Animal Friend. These
Which
people
is
are-
kind of funny. However, apparently that wasn't enough because the following week, DL Site had no choice but to cease receiving payments through Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, which made Japan's JCB credit card the only remaining credit option. Unfortunately, JCB makes up less than 19% of credit cards in Japan, so this is surely hurting the business creators and customers. Likewise,
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about any of these degenerate porno websites not making revenue. Sorry. You know, maybe this website should be censored. You know what? Sure, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Maybe if you guys watch less of this shit and read less of this shit, you guys will turn out to be a little bit more functional as human beings. This is starting to get racist. Wait, what? What the fuck have I said that was racist? Somebody in the chat literally called me a racist. Like, what? How the
buys other major platforms and even physical stores that carry
Oh, you're talking about yourself? Oh, okay.
adult manga have had to suspend Visa and MasterCard payments, including heavyweights like Torono Ana, Unext, and Melon Books, which is obviously pretty alarming to everyone operating in this particular niche. Now, given the
Yeah, fuck them. Like, I don't give a fuck about you degenerates. I don't care about any of you. Like, if you guys, like, oh yeah, we're unable to fucking, first of all, why do you even need to buy porn? That's another fucking thing. You have Visa and MasterCard. What, so you could go and buy fucking porn off the internet? Why? Literally, why? Why? Dude, these people are fucking insane, dude.
and geek debacle, it's natural to assume that these credit card companies want to shield their brands from risks related to supporting particularly controversial adult content, but
Yeah, I wonder why. After they just had a fucking lawsuit about it. You know? Maybe it's probably not a good idea to ever be in that fucking, to have that baggage ever associated with you again. I wonder why. Ugh.
as we mentioned earlier, while cutting off MindGeek was
Yeah, that's a good point in the chat. This particular niche, bestiality is a crime, bro. Even if it's drawn, that's still insane. Yeah, exactly. And this guy was talking about fucking sexual assault porn.
in response to confirmed criminal activity across its websites. This time, they are cutting off Japanese retailers selling fictional, legal adult content, some of which is extremely controversial and likely to discuss.
I hate how he's using these fucking pussy terms, dog. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use the word pussy to describe cowardice. Okay, that's not cool. But I hate how he's using these fucking cowardly cucked terms to describe like this porn, right? Like he's clearly saying bestiality, lolly, all that degenerate shit. Just be fucking honest and just say it out loud. You come across as a fucking clown and a piece of shit, even more so doing this. Like, who are you trying to fool? Euphemism, yeah, that's the word.
Many audiences, but nevertheless legal in Japan where this content is being sold.
I don't give a fuck if it's legal in Japan. Okay? Their age of consent is literally 13. I don't care.
And Yoko Taro, the director of Nier Automata, points out the dangers of foreign credit card companies superseding Japanese law. Regarding the issue of credit...
What do you mean superseding Japanese law? They don't have... There's nothing in Japanese law that means that they have to associate themselves with porn websites. If that's what their fucking policy says, that's what their policy says. Are you fucking kidding me? Bro, you're talking about superseding Japanese law. Motherfucker, you're talking about how a private company wants to do business inside Japan, okay? That's not just Japanese law at that point.
Card companies refusing payments for legal adult content. Regulations that go beyond the law have occurred in publishing and other industries, but for payment service providers, which are tied to the entire distribution infrastructure, to enforce these restrictions based on their own judgment feels significantly more dangerous.
Yeah, well, no, it's not dangerous. It's how they want to operate their fucking business. And you know what? If this ends up destroying these porno websites, good. I don't give a fuck about your degeneracy. Maybe if less people like you become a thing, that's all that matters. You know, I don't care. I don't care about the principles of it or any of that shit. If less fucking unhinged psychopaths like you know, are a thing, that, you know, is the result, you know what? Good. I don't give a fuck. Let's see here. I heard they did raise their age of consent. Yeah, I think they did. I'm not sure though.
If you control payment processors, you could even use them to suppress speech in other countries.
Suppress speech? So how is your free speech being suppressed, dumbass? Because what? Because you're unable to fucking jerk it off to literally the most degenerate, the most disgusting kind of porn out there? You know, like, really? That's free speech? You know, it's not you being fucking thrown into jail by the government for you saying that the political party sucks or whatever. You know, it's not you being thrown into jail by criticizing a war or something like that. No. I need to be able to jerk it off to this degenerate anime bullshit. I can't stand these people, bro. These people are actually beyond unhinged. It's crazy. I wouldn't trust these people literally near anything. Literally any fucking playground, store, whatever. These people need to be like at least 30 miles away from it, man.
And that is kind of scary. Basically, what...
Kind of scary. Also, look at this one. Gardevoir. You know, a Gardevoir body pillar. I recognize this because I used to play a lot of Pokemon back in the day. Gardevoir is a fucking Pokemon, okay? A Pokemon in the Pokemon world is literally an animal.
What's happening here is a variant of the California effect, or the EU's Brussels effect, where, according to Wikipedia, regulated entities, especially corporations, end up complying with EU laws even outside the EU for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, because no. It isn't just for a variety of reasons. It's because if these corporations are literally, if they are, you know, the only way they are allowed to engage with EU laws and actually abide by many and actually do any of their businesses within EU companies, they have to uphold the EU regulations even outside of the EU territory. Okay, that's literally how this shit works. Now, granted, there are exceptions to there are some exceptions, right? And they clearly spell these exceptions out. And this is like a shitload of litigation done by lawyers that, quite frankly, you need a law degree and even understand the beginnings of. And I obviously don't have that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an engineer. But even though I'm an engineer, the fact of the matter is, if you want to be able to have your company operate in the EU, there are a lot of fucking standards that you have to, and regulations that you have to sign that basically state that even outside of the EU, you have to enforce these regulations in some effect, right? We'll make exceptions here and there, but that's kind of like the general fucking gist for a variety of different corporations, right? Yeah, this isn't a conspiracy theory. It's literally just how these fucking giant-ass neoliberal conglomerations are formed. I don't know what else I can really tell you, you piece of shit. I'm gonna go a step further than you. It's not just that it's their own business and it's their right. They are correct. Well, yeah, I already made that argument. I honestly, in this case, I don't even fucking care about principles. I really don't. In this case, I just like the result. If less people are finding this degenerate fucking filth and using this filth to engage in their desires that literally transform them into unrecognizable human beings, then I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Ban it, you know? Make it a dictatorship. I don't care. Don't forget about low punny LOL. That's funny. Unironically, Bizo YouTuber Vanarich video game called me a racist because of what I said about the Japs and their pedophilia. I'm not fucking kidding. Make that what you will. Well, bro, you can't just be calling people, Japanese people, Japs. Come on, man. And Jap is literally a racist term, right?
Except that here it's American companies like Visa and MasterCard appearing to enforce American regulation or values on Japanese businesses operating in Japan.
Yeah, these American credit card companies don't want to fucking operate and with these porno websites. This guy's a...
Yes, some of Japan's fictional adult content is considered distasteful or even illegal.
Distasteful. Just using these fucking weasel words.
In certain Western markets, but a lot of...
And I love how he says they're also illegal, too. Like, that's just another fucking reason why they don't want to be associated with it.
Fictional adult content is considered distasteful or even illegal in certain Western markets, but a lot of American entertainment is also a no-go in places like China, and most Americans would not want...
Well, does China run the world? No, it doesn't. Sorry. That's just how it is. That's another point that I don't know if I mentioned this point, but like there's a reason why these American companies have so much power over these countries. It's simply just due to the fact that that's just how the American empire is. Sorry. Don't know what else I can really tell you. I don't like the American empire I don't like the American empire and how much control it has over the entire world, but my reasons are a lot more different than this fucking piece of shit. My reasons are actually reasons, not, bestiality anime porn is censored. Like, fuck off.
Want Chinese payment service providers deciding what's appropriate or inappropriate to be sold in the USA, imposing restrictions on Japanese businesses selling goods that are legal in Japan to Japanese consumers based on Western norms.
Bro, these credit card companies don't want to associate with your garbage. Sorry, what am I supposed to say to this? This is literal nonsense.
Is basically a kind of cultural imperialism, and that's likely
cultural imperialism. This guy, bro, cultural imperialism by saying that we as a credit card company do not want to have it to where you can use it to buy fucking porno manga. Really? Are you fucking kidding me? Not just porno manga, by the way, but porno manga with the worst fucking categories imaginable that this guy literally spelled out in this fucking video for me. Really? Cultural imperialism. Fuck off, dude.
one reason why China itself initially blocked Visa and MasterCard from even entering the country, until China's own payment service provider became dominant. Beyond harming individual
Well, they did it for, their reasoning was not because of like porn or anything, right? Their reasoning is literally because of, there's a lot of fucking reasons for it, but a part of it is literally because of sanctions, the fact that America has, well, America tried under Obama to be very economically isolationist against China, but that mostly failed because of Trump, for a big reason, which is pretty ironic because Trump talked more shit, but Obama was the one who really started the America-China war, but
businesses and consumers, letting a foreign power exert direct control over the flow of money and information within your own country.
Information. I can't with these people, dude. I genuinely can't with these people. This guy is acting as if like their Visa and MasterCard are going out of their way to like to make it to where they won't side with like a manga because it has like a socialist message or something, right? When that's not what their policy was. Their policy is very fucking clear cut and very straight. We do not want to associate with degenerate porn. Sorry. If you fall under that, then I don't know what else I can really tell you. Sorry.
Is also a national security risk that opens the door to
national security. Bro, I can't with these people, dog. I can't.
The flow of money and information within your own country is also a national security risk that opens the door to economic sabotage. Of course,
economic sabotage. First of all, the Japanese economy was already economically sabotaged in the 90s, motherfucker. Okay? You literally, it's not even like something you need to like do that much research in. You can already do like a quick Google search and you can see that the American empire literally went out of its way in the 1990s to completely isolate the Japanese economy as much as possible to ensure American economic dominance, okay? This isn't like God, this is the idea that Japan, like, he's saying this because he's like, oh, I don't want to see Japan get economically sabotaged. It already was in the 1990s, dipshit. But of course, that's not what you care about. What you care about is fucking porn.
Of course, what's even more disturbing to Japanese creators and fans is how these aggressions could harm the freedom of creative expression.
Creative constructs. I can't.
That Japan prides itself on. As one Japanese anime and manga fan put it, allowing a single corporation to impose restrictions on expression or speech is extremely dangerous and this should never be accepted. Right now, it's
dangerous. It's dangerous.
About adult content, so it's not making huge waves, but if this worsens, the effects will spread, and Japan's entertainment industry will continue to be destroyed. I mean, he's got a point, as we've already
No, he doesn't. I don't want to keep repeating the same point, but
seen how Sony's recent shift in policy on adult video game content has had somewhat of a chilling effect on freedom of expression in Japan.
Freedom. So wait. By the way, the idea that video game companies, okay, like, or whatever, because what he said something about video game companies, right?
In policy on adult video game content has had somewhat of a chilling effect on freedom of expression in Japan, since game developers dealing with risk.
Yeah, so because companies do not want to like violate the rules, that means that their creativity has completely been hampered or whatever. Like, this is, dude, I can't, dude, I'm getting a headache listening to this shit.
Gay content now need to think about how to apply California standards in even the Japanese
And why is he fucking flashing this degenerate shit in my screen?
Versions of their games to avoid falling on the wrong side.
Like, why is this being flashed in my screen?
Of Sony's global policies. And now, Visa and other payment service providers are enacting financial censorship on even more Japanese creators despite the fact that they're operating within their own country's laws. Japanese otaku culture thrives.
Dude, I want to fucking bash my head through a wall. I'm just gonna be repeating the same point. That's another thing. This guy really is just repeating the same fucking argument over and over. The same nonsensical argument too.
It's on its ability to explore niche and often extremely contentious themes. But if you have foreign entities policing the industry, that level of unrestrained expression could quickly unravel. Cracking down on niche, controversial adult content is unlikely to affect the average person, but what's worrisome—
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why it's not gonna affect the average person. You know, maybe there's a fucking big reason why it doesn't affect normal people. Yeah, I wonder why. What? Yeah, this crackdown on our content, is not really gonna affect normal people, you know? Yeah, I wonder why would it affect normal people? Explain that to me in detail. You know? This guy, dude, this is...
Worrisome is that this phenomenon where powerful institutions enforce their standards globally often starts with niche or controversial areas, but rarely stops there. Now
That
here's
is
the twist.
true. He can't stop with the euphemisms. It's so aggravating.
At Japan's Forum on the Protection of Freedom of Expression, Ken Akamatsu, the creator of Love Hina and the founder of Manga Library Z, who is now a politician, along with Taro Yamada, another Japanese politician, revealed back in August that they'd actually flown to the USA to confront Visa at their headquarters about the sudden financial censorship of adult content in Japan.
And let me guess, that went fucking nowhere. And this was just a fucking vague publicity stunt done by a politician, right?
And what's weird is how at the meeting Visa's vice president clearly stated that Visa itself does not make these decisions, and that Visa does not censor specific words or content, which aligns with what Visa CEO Al Kelly said back in 2022 with regard to the lawsuit involving MindGeek. It is Visa's policy.
What?
Visa does not censor specific words or content, which aligns with what Visa CEO.
Okay, if they're actually saying that, then that could either be one of two things, right? It could literally just be like a guy. He did say Visa's vice president, okay? If that's the case, then my genuine reasoning is because I think the Visa's vice president just literally does not give a shit, and he's basically just trolling these politicians.
How at the meeting Visa's...
Because, like, this is such a publicity stunt. Like, so Japan's politicians went to Visa in America, the Visa fucking headquarters, and they were like, why are you censoring, like, our porno websites? Why are you making it to where we can't use the financial, or why can't we, like, buy, why can't I speak? Why is it that you're, like, going after porno websites and making it to where your business does not operate with porno websites or whatever? And the Visa's vice president just simply says, yeah, we don't make this decision, sorry, bud. Like, this is clearly just a fucking trolling a fucking politician. Like, this type of shit happens literally in America too.
Vice president clearly stated that Visa itself does not make these decisions, and that Visa does not censor specific words or content.
Well, yeah, he's actually correct there. He doesn't censor anything. Right? Because Visa not wanting to engage with porn isn't censoring the porn. It's just saying, hey, we're not going to let you just buy porn using our credit cards anymore. You know? He's actually correct there.
Which aligns with what Visa CEO Al Kelly said back in 2022 with regard to the lawsuit involving MindGeek. It is...
Again, I don't know what this lawsuit is, so I'm not even going to fucking comment on it.
Visa's policy to follow the law of every country in which we do business. We do not make moral judgments on legal purchases made by consumers, and we respect the rightful role of lawmakers to make decisions about what is legal and what is not. Sure, except that that's not at all what's happening in Japan.
Wait, excuse me? It is Visa's policy to follow the law of every country in which we do business. We do not make moral judgments on legal purchases made by consumers and respect the rightful role of lawmakers to make decisions about what is legal and what is not. Bro, nothing about that has contradicted their policy at all. Them saying we are no longer gonna allow websites that have porn on them to use our credit card service is not them breaking any law. Unless there's like a law in Japan that says otherwise, which I guarantee you there isn't. Yeah, that's not how shit fucking works. Those websites are not entitled to Visa's credit card service. You understand that, right? It's funny because this guy, he's trying to make the argument that Visa is violating some sort of law, which they aren't, by saying that Visa they have to allow their credit card services on this degenerate fucking websites, you know? Which, if anything, that actually does violate Visa's, I wouldn't say freedom of speech, but that does violate, like, their freedom to do business. Like, what? Like...
decisions about what is legal and what is not. Sure, except that that's not at all what's happening in Japan. So did Visa's president and vice president lie to us? Or are rogue divisions and...
Wow, a CEO lying. You know? And it's funny because he said these were two Japanese politicians that went and were like bitching about this nonsensical thing, right? If I was the fucking vice president, I probably would say something trollish and ridiculous too, just to get them out of my face. Because it's like, it's such a ridiculous fucking thing to even bring up and waste a person's time.
Individuals within the company acting on their own against the company's official position. This is where it gets interesting, because on November 27th, 2024, Visa Worldwide Japan's President and Representative Director Seaton Kitney dropped the truth during a briefing, where someone asked why Visa can no longer be used on some Japanese websites selling adult content that's 100% legal in Japan. Kitney explained that while Visa's policy is to allow its services to be used for legal and legitimate purposes as much as possible, sometimes it's necessary to restrict usage to protect the brand.
What exactly? How is this a conspiracy theory? Like, this is literally common sense. Like, so this guy is saying that, okay, so technically it's this content is not illegal, but we also don't want to associate with legal content if it's, you know, it's fucking degenerate, you know, because we actually have a brand we want to protect. How is this a fucking conspiracy theory?
He also mentioned that decisions like this are complicated because they involve both local and global policies, stressing the importance of maintaining integrity and trust and indicating that the measures taken will not be temporary. And that does not...
Yeah, like, again, how is that contradictory? Or conspiratorial or anything? Dude, I can't live. Dude. Oh...
not align with what Al Kelly said in 2022, or what Visa HQ told
Sometimes it's necessary to restrict usage to protect the brand. We do not make moral judgments on legal purchases made by consumers. Visa itself does not make these decisions. Visa does not censor specific words or content. Again, nothing about this is fucking contradictory. Yeah, we sometimes are going to restrict our credit card services because we need to protect our brand. But we also don't really make any moral judgments on legal purchases made by customers or consumers. And we don't censor anything. Like, this isn't a conspiracy.
Ken Akamatsu and Taro Yamada in 2024. So it's possible that it is Visa Worldwide Japan behind the adult content crackdown, operating against the intentions of the US headquarters. But
what do you mean that's so fucking delusional, dude. Against the intentions of the US headquarters. That's not how that shit fucking works. The Japanese Visa company is not going against the US, like, the main US Visa headquarters company. And if they are somehow, that would be a fucking PR, business, investor nightmare disaster. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, we would have fucking news constantly talking about how the Japanese Visa company is literally, like, defying the main headquarters of Visa and all of their policies. This is delusional. This is actually, like, insane.
It's hard to say. Either way, people like Ken Akamatsu and Taro Yamada are fighting to protect Japan's exceptionally high...
Fighting to protect.
Hard to say. Either way, people like Ken Akamatsu and Taro Yamada are fighting to protect Japan's exceptionally high level of creative freedom. And the
Yeah, they're not gonna get anywhere, buddy. I don't know what else I can really tell you.
efforts might be paying off, because even though the Dojinshi chain Melon Books has no plans to resume Visa and MasterCard payments for online or ebook purchases, they do hope to resume Visa and MasterCard payments for in-store purchases sometime in December. And another
Wait, in-store purchases? Wait, what? So it's not even like... So Visa and MasterCard didn't even go after all porno websites then, right? They literally only went after like these unhinged, like the most insane, degenerate porno. This is beyond delusional. This is actually insane. Bro is describing the fight to save animal porn like it's the civil rights movement. What a clown. True!
Platform GetYou.com, which despite the fact that they removed various products and product information from their site to comply with the credit card company policies, ended up having to completely suspend their Visa payments anyways, actually has recently been able to reinstate Visa as a payment option for their customers. So
what the fuck? So it's not even, dude. This is how dishonest and disingenuous and slimy this dude is being. Okay, because I was under the assumption when I got into this video that Visa just said that Visa and MasterCard did just a complete blanket ban. Like, right? Like, in the sense of, like, we are not going to allow you to use our service if you make, like, porno content. Okay? Very broad, very basic, that kind of thing, right? That's what I thought because of how this guy was describing it. But by the end of the video, Visa and MasterCard were allowing porno websites to use their fucking credit card service, right? So what really happened was that it wasn't just a blanket ban, a blank ban, like a very wide van. Bro, this video broke me, like, mentally. I can't speak. It wasn't just a wide ban. It wasn't just a very general ban, okay? They specifically, in their policies, this is what happened, okay? They, in their policies, did not just blindly ban porn. Which, if they did, by the way, that'd be based, right? But they didn't just blindly say, okay, all porno, we're not going to associate with it. End of story. They said anything that's fucking bestiality, okay, lolicon, sexual assault, like the most degenerate, unhinged fucking material out there, okay? That's what they say. We are not going to allow you to use our credit card service to buy the shit. Sorry, we just aren't. We have to preserve our brand. This is how unhinged, and this guy making a video complaining about it shows how unhinged, how how insane, how unstable, how ridiculous these people are, bro. Like, these people should not be, like, I don't know, and the thing is, I don't think these people are fixable either. Like, I think they're fucking done. Like, as human beings, like, there's literally, like, nothing that they can do to ever fix themselves. They will always be a degenerate, blind, hate-filled incel who views women in the most degenerate, evil fucking manner possible, who have pedophilia literally rotted into their brains. How do you fix these people? How the fuck do you fix these people? These people are not fixable. It's done. They're finished. Like, they crossed that point where literally nothing you can do would ever revert them back to being a normal human being. This is what anime has done to these people. Okay? Not just anime, right? This is what this degenerate fucking nonsense anime type weeb culture has done to these people. What, like, seriously, how do you fix this guy? Like, how can you make this guy a normal human being again?
So even though Japan's battle against payment service provider censorship isn't one, it isn't over either. But what do you think are Visa and...
I'm done. I fuck off. Just fuck off. Who was the fucking cunt in my chat who requested me to react to this shit? Oh, wait, it was Fartinator, right? Sorry, Fartinator. I love you. I'm sorry for calling you a cunt. I love you, Fartinator. I love how Fartinator just says sorry. I love, dude. I like blushed with embarrassment because I was like, who is the fucking cunt in my chat who wanted me to react to this? And then I remembered, oh wait, was it Fartinator? Oh, now I feel kind of bad. I'm sorry. I can't be calling my court jesters a cunt. Dude, for real though, man. These videos. Anime has ruined nerd culture. Megadude back in 2021 or some shit. I mean, yeah. Please watch this. You need a palate cleanser.
We've got about.
I've already seen it. The Abad Epanada video. God, dude, these videos, they just, oh my. Is this channel just gonna be me making, like, boiling my fucking blood, going bald? More bald than I already am, by the way. So before anybody says, you're already bald, I know that. Is this channel just gonna be me devolving into me just responding to the most insane fucking anime weeb drivel on the internet? Is that it? Is that the fucking direction of my channel? First we had Wrestling Otaku, and then we have this bitch. Show it to cleanse their palate. I'll show a little bit of it. Mainly because I already watched it.
Anime is something that is a complete joke that was originally made for children and then expanded to be made for adults because, like, idiotic Westerners saw people who liked it because they were pedophiles, and they themselves convinced themselves that, like, it's a hobby, it's a thing they themselves should also like. And I have all of these people pretending to like the most juvenile, dumb shit in the world.
True!
It's like a sort of peer pressure thing where people who have no interest, nothing interesting about them, all, like, hop on the bandwagon and pretend to like cartoons made for children that are just full of pedophilia. And that is what anime is. It's like a bunch of people pretending to like something that no one legitimately likes unless they're literally 4 years old. That's the only time when it would be acceptable to like anime. The anime is that, like...
Why Taylor Swift, though? I mean, Taylor Swift is pretty fucking degenerate. Let's not kid ourselves, right? Like, have you seen some of her fans? I wouldn't put her in the same tier as anime, but I wouldn't say she's good or anything like that. She's definitely fucking shit. But honestly, I will say with Taylor Swift, I think it's more so like, I just think her songs and her personality are just kind of annoying. But, and, you know, I wouldn't say they're, like, destructive, you know? Swifties are quite insane. I don't really have a problem with Taylor herself, though. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't really... I guess in terms of, like... I probably hate her just because, like, she's one of those, like, celebrities that America has. But that's mainly because I just hate celebrity culture as a whole. And, you know, she embodies that fully. So, yeah.
It's normal to like. I like children's animes, like Dragon Ball Z. You watch that when you were 12 years old. Of course you're going to like that. But, like, there are, like, millions of people, tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions of Westerners especially, who just base their entire personality around anime. And they, like, talk about, like, oh, go check out the new anime this season or whatever. And they just pretend to like.
Her fans are racist. I don't disbelieve you, or I don't deny that. Nah, I actually can 100% believe that her fans are, like, racist. Her fans just strike me as, like, those really shit-lib white liberal types that clearly have an issue with, like, minorities, but have, like, a really weird philosophy regarding it, where it's like they try to hide it, right? Yeah, I don't doubt that. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I can't speak today, but...
Like, the dumbest, the absolute dumbest slop imaginable, just because it's made by, like, animators. No, it's not even made by animators in Japan. They outsource the animation. But, like, just because it's, like, Japanese anime, and all of them pretend to like anime as a genre, it is completely fucking nonsensical and embarrassing. And it's the sort of thing that exists in the same sphere as, like, K-pop does. It's like it's basically like K-pop, but for single unfuckable men, is what anime is. It's something that's there that you can, like, get into when you have no personality. You don't want to generate a personality either. You don't want to be interesting. You don't want to like be interested in anything that is interesting either. So you just cling on to anime and video games. They come together, they're side by side. What K-pop and Taylor Swift is for women, anime and video games are for men. There's a woman and she likes K-pop and Taylor Swift, and that's like her whole personality. That should be a red flag. Leave. That is a black hole of like just boring ignorance. Leave. Get the hell out of there. And with men, anime and video games, particularly combined, that is when you get the fuck out. Leave immediately. It is people who, rather than like learning about anything, rather than getting interested in anything that is actually interesting, they just saw other people pretending to like anime in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And it's been like a pyramid scheme where people were pretending to like something that has no worth to it whatsoever. 99.999% of anime is like, my dad's stepdaughter is so hot, and we swear she's over 18. And then it's like 5 seasons or 30 episodes, and these guys all watch it religiously, and they post online about it, and they assure you that they definitely don't watch it because it's porn for them or anything like that. There's like 2 good animes ever, and most of them are movies rather than series.
True!
And there's nothing about them that is like specifically anime. It just they're animations that happen to be made in Japan. But like, it's just so fucking weird. It is bizarre. As you can see, the drummers approve of my take on this, so it is true. It is 100% real. No one can disapprove of what I'm saying here. It is objectively true. If you are young, especially if you're young, and you're interested in anime, leave now. Get out now. You have like a time limit before it becomes too much of an obsession of you, too much of like a learned habit that you'll be done forever. Get out of there. It's like a cult. It's worse than a cult.
Bro, this is so base.
Because they're all pedophiles. Well, cults are usually pedophiles too. But you know what I mean. It's a cult. Get the fuck out of anime. There's nothing meritorious in there. You would be far better off spending your time getting into literally anything else. Just like you'd be better off spending your time getting into anything aside from Taylor Swift and K-pop. K-pop is just late 90s corporate like constructed boy bands rebranded with Koreans.
Bro, I don't even have that much of a beef with K-pop, but that's just spot on. I don't know what else I can really say.
Nothing special about it. Give me a fucking break. When anyone pretends to like that stuff, it is such a massive red flag that there's just nothing there. There's nothing to them as people. I guarantee you put like, I like anime first thing in your Tinder profile, goodbye. Well, okay, maybe just by looking at you, they already went goodbye, but if they read your bio, they're definitely going to go goodbye, 100%. There are just so, like, 50% of, like, Western men above the age of 18, and probably under the age of 18 too, like, late teens, have nothing to them. It's just like, I like anime and video games. If you want to be complete, like an unmeritorious person with nothing interesting about you, who is totally unfulfilled for the rest of your life, continue with that path. Continue. Just anime and video games. Otherwise, I would suggest strongly that you change. And if you change, please don't replace that with the next worst thing, Marvel movie fan. Superhero movie fan. Don't be that. I beg you. Don't be that either, please. That is my anti-anime rant. It is 100% true. You cannot refute it. Unless, of course, you're the sort of person who would argue about the definition of pedophilia. It's a phebophilia. Maybe those sorts of people would be really angry at this. Everyone else...
Bro, this is so base, bro. This is actually like something I'd expect from a comedian.
Everyone else is totally uncontroversial. If you guys watch anime, I'm watching you. I'm paying attention to you. You better not say my name 3 times in a fucking mirror, okay? Because if you're an anime fan, I'll show up and I'll judge you. And you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You see that furnace behind me? Let's just say it's not just for show, okay? Like, Westerners are so desperate for, like, acceptable cultural produce from other countries, but they really don't like the third world countries, so they choose, like, Japan and South Korea and treat it like it's something exotic, as if those countries aren't themselves, like, hilariously westernized, as if K-pop is not just a rebranding of, like, Backstreet Boys, fucking Spice Girls sort of shit from the late 90s, just with Koreans instead of...
God, that's such a truth bomb, though. Dude, this is... dude, that hurts, not because he's saying something incorrect, but it hurts because it's true, you know?
Of white people, and they pretend it's something cool and different because they want something exotic and different, but in reality they're not different at all, because this is fucking half the people in the West are obsessed with this shit. So
Yeah, like, have you guys ever wondered why, even though in a lot of Arab countries, for example, they love the concept of like Arab soap dramas, like that's something that's huge in a lot of Arab countries, but it's like never talked about in the States, like ever, ever. You'll never ever see like any like woman or whatever watch like an Arab soap drama, even though I guarantee you if they did, they probably would genuinely enjoy it. It's not a coincidence. It really isn't.
So it's like an acceptable like aura of difference that isn't like, different enough, like those icky third worlders. Like has the aesthetic of different because the people doing it are Asian. Except I guess, is there an analog to anime? I mean,
yeah, because they're not first world enough. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you could blame you can blame like Egypt, right? For not being able to export their like Hollywood industry as much, and that's definitely an argument you can make, but the fact that it's also just like a full, we don't want to associate with these countries philosophy, and it's very depressing. Yeah, most Americans don't know this. Egypt has a huge and a very, very rich film industry. They have a film industry, a very rich one, and they've had it for pretty much their inception. But you never hear about it in America, But you barely hear about Bollywood, like Indian movies, Even though India is literally like the most populous, I'm pretty sure it's become the most populous nation in the world, surpassing China recently. Yeah, even though it's like the most populous nation in the world, and it is a film industry that a lot of people in the world view, Americans don't really talk about Bollywood at all. They never talk about the Egyptian film industry either, even though it's very rich and very vibrant and colorful. Yeah, I'm not saying, I definitely think Philly cheesesteaks, you're misunderstanding me. Bollywood is talked about in America sometimes, but the argument that I'm making is that the fact that it's not like this huge cultural thing on the same level as like anime kind of shows like this guy's point as being spot on, right? Because Bollywood should be on that level, mainly because of just how huge it is, And by the way, Egypt is a fucking large ass country. Like that country is like, it has like the same population as America. I think it's a little bit less, but I'm pretty sure they have like 200 million people. Yeah, it's the fact that these people are not paid attention to at all, and their culture is never talked about. It's not a coincidence, right? They only care about like the exotic East Asianers, if that makes sense.
I guess there's like, Western cartoons, but those are usually a lot less concerned with pedophilia fan service than the Japanese anime industry is. So, but K-pop, 100%. K-pop is just rebranded, like the frenzy over like boy bands and girl groups from the late 90s, rebranded. It's the same thing. Down with K-pop, down with anime. These things will be banned. Down with Taylor Swift too. These things will be banned after the communist revolution of the year 3500. It's coming, just wait. Get your immortality ready. You're going to need it. Hawk to a spit on that thing.
Bro, that's just amazing, dude. Twitch streamers bought out by Saudi Arabia. Dude, I have to watch that video. That's crazy. And he has Asmongold in the thumbnail. He even defended Western cartoons against anime. Yeah, it's so spot on. bro is an actual communist. Well, yeah, he is. I'm not like he's a communist, but honestly, even though he's a communist, his foreign policy takes are pretty valid for the most part. At least recently. I remember he used to be pretty fucking unhinged back like 5 years ago when he just would spout like nonsense that it's just America, basically like America bad, you know? And it would just be complete fucking nonsense where it's like, this guy literally doesn't really care about imperialism being bad. It's literally just, I want to support the other empire, right? But his recent videos, I think, have been a lot better. I think he's definitely toned down a lot, and he actually understands geopolitics and foreign policy a little bit fucking more, where it isn't just America bad. Like, bro is literally pro-Ukraine now. Now, to be fair, I don't know if he was ever against Ukraine, but any dipshit communist who knows nothing would literally say, I'm pro-Russia. You know? So yeah. There you go. You just gotta give credit where credit is due, right? He was never against Ukraine, he just hates NATO. Well, hating NATO is based. That's the thing, though. Like, NATO has literally, like, been a useless, destructive institution ever since the Soviets have collapsed in the 1990s. Like, if there was just no need for NATO to be a thing anymore. So he's spot on there, right? Problem is, a lot of communists don't care about... It's not because I hate NATO. It's literally just because I just support Russia. You know, they go one step further and say, I just want the Russian Empire to succeed or whatever. It's even funny now because the Russians are not communists. They're not even like Soviet communists either. They're just capitalists, right? Now, there are some hardcore anarchists who would argue that the Soviet Union was never really communist. They were just, I don't know what the term is, but they were just like, they were capitalist under a different name, basically. I don't really agree with that. I think that's like a bullshit, you know, that's not real communism. I don't buy that at all, to be honest with you. I really think it's just not a nonsense fucking debate, and a lot of communists just trying to hide the, you know, ineffectual, insufficiencies of their ideology. That being said, where was I going with this? Yeah, that being said, them supporting, like, the modern day Russian state is laughable. Because it isn't even, like, Soviet communism. It's just capitalism, like, through and through. Putin doesn't even talk about Sovietism at all. Yeah, state capitalist. Yeah, that's why I said anarchist. Because I know there's, like, a difference between the different ideas or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, one of the main reasons why communism is never really going to be going anywhere, at least in my lifetime, is just due to the fact that this is the era of nationalism, right? Nation states, nationalism is a very powerful drive, okay? The simple fact of the matter is that we are in an era that has never been seen before in human history, that is mass literacy, right? Where mass literacy became introduced to the public, and as a result, you know, we're in an era where a buttload of national identities have been established and protected. Yeah. right? And because of this, communism is just never really happening anytime soon in the world, right? Those national identities are pretty fucking well built, and they haven't really been around that long compared to like human history, because we're talking about literally like the early 1800s to now. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if like communism becomes a more like dominant force in like maybe 600 years down the line, maybe. Because there will come an age in human history where nationalism is thought of as a very archaic, very problematic force, and it will probably be built more alongside globalism and wanting to be more connected with the world. And that won't really come until like at least 100 years from now, I think. Definitely not now, no. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong on that. The issue is that nationalism right now is just really powerful. Like, you're just not going to be convincing people to want to move away from that. Assuming the human race survives. Yeah, I'm making a lot of assumptions, Schwarzenegger. I'm aware of that. China's just a capitalist surveillance state. Lamau. True. Yeah, both Russia and China are not like they don't even try to like, you know, pretend to be communist anymore, right? They're not Soviet style, they're not Maoist or anything. They're just capitalist, right? Like the main party of the Chinese state is the Chinese Communist Party, but like they call themselves communists, but that doesn't really mean anything, right? Like yeah. Globalism is bad though. I mean, yeah, globalism is bad, I guess, but nationalism is also bad. So I mean, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't say globalism is bad or nationalism is bad. I would say they both have their pros and cons, right? Yeah, I think that's a pretty simplistic statement to make, I think. Damn, 2019 was half a decade ago. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's fucking wild. It is wild. Yeah. Talked about politics. We talked about anime, and then we're back to talking about politics again. Kevin, I believe everyone should be a peasant, and I'll execute anyone who talks about porn in terms like MILF in my chat. I only show mercy to my one court jester. Be very afraid. Hey, I have a few. I don't just have one court jester. I have two. You know, Hatchet Man is another one. And I show favoritism to my serf. Work in the chat. Okay? You bitch. But yes, you are definitely a peasant. And I show no mercy to all the peasants in my chat. Because my chat is the Kevin supremacy. I don't know. It's my kingdom. I'll do whatever the fuck I want with it. Deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it. Kuvin. By the way, one of the most recent videos I'm watching is the whole lion versus tiger debate, and to be honest, I think it's all cut, but the tiger fanboys are worse. That's funny. I mean, yeah, if you put a lion and a tiger into a fight, pretty sure the tiger would win, because the tiger is stronger than a lion. They're bigger than a lion. Yeah. Yeah, the tiger would beat a lion in a fight. Which sucks, because I like lions more, but I just don't think they would be able to win, you know? By the way, there's a misconception that the lion's mane is there to protect the lion, but it's literally all just for show. The lion's mane doesn't really provide like legitimate protection, if that makes sense. It's just a show. But I will say, speaking of lions, this video is so fucking adorable, and I gotta show you guys this.
For 6 weeks, this female cub has been hidden away by...
Some guy in the chat. If Crack Elmo Padishah gave the lion his famous homemade crack, the lion would win. That's funny.
...by her mother in the long grass. But today, with her brother and sister, she's going to join the nursery group, or creche, at the heart of her pride.
About to get an ad? Really? You know what? Maybe I should just go and see. Okay, no ad.
Adult females provide the food and the first line of defense. With at least 4 in her pride, this cub should be well...
I mean, the lion's mane isn't even about show. It's testosterone. They're high T lionesses with manes. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean when I say it's about show. Like, female lions or lionesses, they like a bigger, darker manes more than like lighter, smaller manes. Like, it literally is for show, right? Yeah, like having a lion with like a very powerful mane, lionesses like more. So that's actually something that's been confirmed.
...looked after. All the lionesses have their own cubs, who will be both playmates and future allies.
Can we watch cute cat videos? I mean, we technically are right now. I mean, this is fucking cute. Lion cubs.
Under the female's watchful eyes, she can practice her stalking, pouncing, and fighting skills.
This might be a really dumb question, but can a human being fight a lion cub? Or are these things like too strong? Like, I know that sounds weird because they look really small, but like, technically speaking, human beings are not stronger, but they're bigger than leopards. And you obviously wouldn't want to see me fight a leopard, right? I'm gonna Google this on my phone. Can a human being fight a lion cub? While a human could potentially fight a lion cub, especially if it was very young, it is highly discouraged to do so, as even small lion cubs can inflict serious injuries with their teeth and claws, and attempting to fight any wild animal is dangerous and should be avoided. In most scenarios, a human would be able to overpower a lion cub, but it's not a safe or ethical practice. Lion cubs still have very sharp teeth and claws. They can cause significant damage with their bites and scratches. A lion cub may instinctively lash out if it feels threatened, even if it's not aggressive towards humans. A cub's bite or scratch could lead to serious infection or wounds. Yeah, there you go. I feel like fighting a lion cub would be like as difficult as fighting like a dog, you know? Maybe a little bit harder, maybe. A teenage one, hell no. A baby one, like a house cat size, probably, but it won't be easy. Yeah, teenage one is obviously not what I meant, no. Teenage cubs are literally not that far off from becoming like, you know, full adult lions, right?
But there is...
These things are so adorable, though. They're just cute. I like how Kevin is all like, "Aw," 15 minutes after we just watched him having an absolute breakdown over the depths of anime fans again.
One more family member to meet, and perhaps the most important of all. Her father.
Yeah, boy. Dude, this guy is living the high life, right? He has a bunch of fucking lionesses and a bunch of fucking lion cubs, and he doesn't have to do any of the hunting. He just sits down and, you know, rests and eats, bro. That's like dude, the lions are living a fucking dope ass life. I'm joking, by the way. Bro, that's so adorable. Look at it. He's literally, dude, the lion, he's literally saying to her, "Hey, come here."
Her father.
"Come here right now. I need to talk to you." And she comes in. Look how the lion like looks at him. Like, it's so adorable. Look how he stares at her, man. Like the way he turns his head to look at her is adorable.
Her father.
Like, you can't tell me the way he turns his head to look at her is not adorable. It's so cute.
Marauding rival male lion.
Dude, she's like, the lion cub, she's like mimicking his roar. This is like making me feel so bubbly inside. It's so cute.
Marauding rival male lions are a constant threat. If they overthrew him, they would kill all his cubs and father their own.
Yeah, that's something that lions do. They will fight the male lion, and if they beat the male lion in a fight, which could either result in death or not, that lion will become the new man, and he will kill all the cubs and then just rape all the lionesses, basically. Well, in that case, it really wouldn't be rape, because the lionesses will be like, well, you beat our man. We're gonna have to make new babies, you know? So the lionesses are like, okay, well, so the lion is like, alrighty then, time to make my fucking pride. Woo! I think that even a pit bull sized house cat is less scary than an actual pit bull, considering the aggression and pure muscle mass of a pit bull. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, fuck yeah, pit bulls, fuck them. Don't understand why pit bulls are constantly kept as pets, but like how Kevin thinks he can educate us on lions. Fuck off, I'll do whatever I want in my streams.
The security of the whole pride. And this cub's future rests on him remaining strong.
Oh, dude, this is so adorable. Look at it. This is just so cute. Like, he's taking a nap and she's about to join him in the nap. Oh, it's so precious. So much cute. Ah. When is Kevin getting a lion cub as a pet? Alrighty. I think I'm gonna have to end the stream. I'm actually really tired. So, you guys have to take good care for me. Thank you guys for watching. Alright, but you guys take good care for me, okay?